Hey, Brendan here. I'm going to do a quick design walkthrough of Resonant Magic, the Collaborative Grimoire, a product that the community survey was instrumental in putting together. So let me grab that survey here. We had a bunch of people pile in with their feedback, ideas, inspirations, and there was some awesome stuff in here. So theme, a lot of people were looking for high fantasy, followed by Eberron and Dark Sun. Very specific things called out, which was great. I got some awesome options pulled from there. The subclass I ended up building was for Warlock. That always stayed at the top. There were some specific ideas in here, one of which was a mage collective, which is actually what I went with. This idea that a group of mages have combined their powers together in order to be a patron, and then some other additional things thrown out. This was hilarious. I think I'm going to make it for How's Your Day Going. You guys crack me up sometimes. So let's jump over. Actually, let me turn this into view mode. Here we go. All right, so diving in, we have one of everything. That was the concept for this one. Is let's make a supplement where you could quickly add a whole bunch of things where something's good for everyone. And there's a new faction, and so this is those 8 mages that are each a grand master of their own specialty. So abjuration all the way through transmutation. And then there were some details on how to include that faction, going with the current goals and threats. Oops, don't want to move that. Adventure hooks and the character options. So diving in, we have the subclass. The big thing here is their school alignment. I'm just going to focus on that for a second, where you get to choose a specific school to align with, and that gives you both a passive benefit, and then when you cast a spell from that school, an enhanced benefit. And so kind of running through one of these, abjuration, you get a +1 bonus to your AC, and then the enhanced benefit is whenever you cast an abjuration spell, the level of that spell gives you a temporary hit point that you can... That was really poorly said. And then the enhanced benefit is that whenever you cast an abjuration spell, the level of that spell gives you... And then the enhanced benefit is that whenever you cast an abjuration spell, you get a number of temporary hit points equal to that level that you can apply to another character or yourself. And keep in mind that I did call that out over here. Right here. But when you cast a spell, if you cast it at a higher level, it becomes that level. So like for Warlocks in particular, all of their spells are the same level. So when you're a level 3 Warlock and you have level 2 spells and you cast a level 1 spell, that spell counts as level 2. And that statement is crazy confusing and totally accurate. I don't know why Wizards of the Coast use leveling for 2 things that don't level together. Anyways, design decisions for a different day. Collective casting is the Eldritch Invocation, giving you access to a new school of magic and Collective casting is the Eldritch Invocation that gives you a new spell for the day, pulling from a randomly chosen school of magic. Opens up some options there. There's a new divination level 1 spell that actually does damage and reveals something cool and scales well. It'll be fun. Awesome. Playtesting had some great feedback on it. Species, there's a new construct, and their big thing is this collaborative design. So when an ally that you can see deals damage or restores hit points, you can add your proficiency bonus to that and really bump up their abilities. So it should be fun. Apprentice, I think people are going to really like this organizational resources feature. It gives you a lot more player agency and isn't as dependent on the DM like a lot of the background features are. Feat, the spell empowerment gives you a cool option of what you can do with your spells, especially your level 1, level 2 spells. As you start leveling and maybe you're not needing those as much, you can then instead use them to enhance one of your allies' spells and bump up the capabilities with that. Jumping over to equipment, let's move my face out of the way. There's a new monocle. I mean, couldn't say no. And gives you some benefits on identifying spells. And then there was a suggestion thrown out in the survey that I never would have thought of, where someone had suggested, why don't you make a drink and a food recipe and include that in this one of everything concept. And so to really like dial in the lore building, or dial in the world building and bring people on board with the theme. And it's like, this is a really interesting concept. So I actually did a little bit of research on this, trying to figure out what could I make that would be cool and magical in nature to kind of fit with this mage collective. So I came up with Arcane Catalyst. That's a drink that changes color when you add an acid to it. So in this case, you add a little bit of lemon juice, and that'll turn it from this color over here on the right. Whoop, I don't know what I pushed, but that was cool. This color turns into that color when you add the acid. And then there was a powder you could make something blue. So this is it all mixed in. And this one is it kind of just sprinkled on top. And then, of course, we can't forget our mini here. I put my book in the background, too. You know, I'm an expert in food plating. So the next piece was the Octad Tether Stones for a magic item. And this was sort of the way that I don't know if you're familiar with Divinity Sin 2, but they have these pyramids that you can use to teleport the players back and forth. It's like, ooh, that'd be kind of a cool magic item. What if we made that? And then you could also have it as a DM tool where the players don't know what's on the other end of this pyramid, well, this tether stone. So they could go there and find out, oh, shit, this is a bad decision. Or it could be awesome. You know, fun things to play with. All right, the creature. This is the Octad Apprentice. This is very much a support character where they would be super fun to either throw against the players or add to the player's team and add some kind of tactical elements there on do you focus this character who is going to empower their other allies or work on the allies themselves. So fun options, some lore, the tactics called out, some plot hooks, and the encounter details there. So anyways, yeah. I hope you enjoy. This was fun to make. It has some killer concepts that came from the community. I take very little credit for most of this. The ideas you all put together were amazing, and I'm so excited to kind of see it take form. And yeah, it's going to be awesome. I can't wait for you to play with it and give me some feedback on anything you'd like to see changed or new things to make in the future. All right. So have a killer weekend, everyone. And I can't do that for the weekend. So have a killer day, and I will talk to you soon. Take care.